Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Words I Choose to Live By. I'm excited you all could be with us. For those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on X, going to go ahead and bring in our friends over on IG. There they are. And also our friends over on Amazon. This is a special episode today. It's actually our season finale as we're beginning week number 18 of 2025. So glad you all could be with us. And we're now live on Amazon Live for Words I Choose to Live By. If you guys are new to us on Amazon, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button. You see it either here in this corner or down below. You also will see the books by our co-hosts. We have with us Dr. Velma Bagby, Tina Siemens, Melissa Banks is joining us today to talk to us about week number 18, the message here. But I also, of course, be able to thank you guys for being with us for another great season. Herschel, hello to you over there on IG. Ladies, how we doing today?
Doing wonderful.
Doing well.
Good morning. Doing good.
So glad you all could be with us. Can you believe that we are at the end of this season? And before we get into today's message, I'm going to go in reverse order to kind of talk about that. Melissa, how does it feel to be at the end of this season of Words?
This moment is always kind of bittersweet, excited for the amazing season, looking forward to the break, but sad for the break too. Each season, when it comes to an end, it feels different. It feels like an uncomfortable feeling because it's been so amazing. It's been wonderful to show up with you and these ladies each Monday morning, needing inspiration sometime and just getting it from the panel and being able to share from the heart with everyone. So it's kind of bittersweet, but exciting.
Yeah. Tina, what about for yourself? How does it feel to be at the end of this season?
Same thing. I've just so enjoyed it. I've been inspired more than I think any of you because this was my first, and so it was just kind of wonderful to not only hear each one of y'all's perspective, but so many amazing takeaways. And so I was just so honored to be a part of it, and it is definitely bittersweet, but I'm glad it's just a pause, and then we'll continue again this fall. So grateful for the opportunity and looking forward to the next season.
I am as well. Stacey Thomas, hello to you over there on IG. Dr. Velma, what about for yourself? It was your first season as well. How does it feel to see the season come to an end?
I've loved every bit of this season with these two ladies on the panel. Like Melissa said, I'm learning from each of them. Tina gives wisdom, Melissa gives wisdom, and I call her the queen of affirmations, just giving you tips and tools on how to keep yourself focused and charged. All of it has been amazing. You've been wonderful too, Cyrus, but I have to give my thanks to the ladies on the panel because I truly appreciated being with them on this show.
Well, I'm glad I have been good too. Thank you for that. I'll just leave that alone and go right into today's message. Then it's been the same for me though too. I have thoroughly enjoyed, and I've said before, and I totally mean it. When we were bringing Words I Choose to Live By back here to Amazon, I knew I wanted the three of you for one, and I also knew that there was no one else. If you all had told me no, I would have gone with whoever in this group could have done it because I couldn't think of anyone else I would want to spend this time with each week. So again, I really appreciate that. So we're going into week number 18, and I was just saying to the panel, this is a great message for us to end this season on. And there's a lot of stuff happening in the world right now. There's a lot of things that can distract us, a lot of things that can discourage us. But there are some things that are in our control. So today's message, week number 18 from my book, is leaving it behind. Though others might choose to entertain it, make it your aim to leave the drama behind. Nothing good can come from holding on to that which doesn't make you better. Greatness is your aim, so surround yourself with those who are striving for it as well. And really, this message is self-explanatory for me, myself, because I am a person who I tell people my cutoff game is really strong. I don't tolerate a lot of nonsense. I'm not someone who puts up with a lot of things that I don't see the purpose of or the meaning behind. So I think it's been great for me in helping me in my life, both personally and professionally, to make sure that I only give attention to things that matter to me and cut off everything else. Hey, Earl, good to be able to see you over there on Facebook. He says, congratulations to you guys on this season. Dr. Bam, I'm going to kick this over to you. How has it helped you leave the nonsense negativity behind?
It's always been my aim to leave the negativity behind because I've gone through so many episodes in my life, my journey to adulthood. I wrote about it in a book, as well as, my journey to do what I'm doing right now. There's always going to be distractions and drama. And I love that in this paragraph, you hit upon several things I made note of, and that is you're not going to sit there and entertain it, and you're not going to um, cause it to create a pause in your journey at all. And then I love the end part that talks about surrounding yourself with those who are striving as well, because we all should always have a support system, so
Mhm.
that sometimes you may not be able to convince yourself, or um, get yourself out of that place. Sometimes it takes talking to another person who's like-minded, and
Right.
helping and allowing them to encourage you to get out of that spot. But it's important. And I thought about a scripture from Paul that talks about laying aside every weight and sin. Sometimes those distractions are weights. Sometimes those people who are causing the distractions and interference, those are weights. And so that's part of your past that you're not going to hold on to. You let those go, those you've surrounded yourself with, your supporters, to keep them in your circle. And then you keep the goal in mind. That's what a runner does. The runner keeps the goal in mind despite what they might interact with on the track, on their way to the goal. And that's what we have to do, is to stay focused, keep a good cheering crowd around you, and make sure that you don't pause, you don't get stuck. Entertaining it causes you to get stuck. So just ignore it and keep pushing forward.
Such a great point and great way to get us kicked off. Tina, what about for you? How have you benefited from leaving the negativity and the nonsense behind?
Well, it frees one of all of that which others and myself would often put on myself to weigh me down. But if I make that choice to free myself of those strings that are attached that keep me from doing what my purpose is, I was reminded, and I know I often talk about the lessons we learn from animals. I've talked about buffaloes, but when I read this, the eagle came to mind. The
Mm,
eagle is able to fly 10,000 feet high, and that is the only bird that can go that high and still soar. And that is so often we have to just make that conscious decision that I am going to soar above the problems. I'm going to soar above the things that weigh me down or hold me down. So when I go where there is fresh air, the more oxygen I get into my lungs, and that gives me the energy to just keep on going. But so many circumstances and people in our world that they try to keep us down, and often I try to keep myself down. But if I let go, I will be equipped with new energy and new oxygen in my lungs to keep on going and soaring above the issues.
exactly. Hello to you, Eugene, over there on IG. Hello to you, Unlock the Day as well. You'll notice with each one of the co-hosts as they're speaking, if you guys are on the Amazon side, we're highlighting their latest book in the carousel, either here on this side or down below. So that way you guys can be able to get those as we're going through our conversation. Melissa, what about for yourself? What has helped you? How have you benefited from leaving the negativity and the nonsense behind in your life?
It helps me to believe in me. This reminds me of so many things that I had to learn in the journey. And some people may think this is easy. This is not easy, because
Yeah.
all that negative stuff that I was holding on to, all that negative stuff that people were reminding me of, people will remind you of that place that you're trying to get beyond. And when
Mhm.
you take it over, it weighs you down. It's exhausting. You can't get excited even when something good happens. What
Yeah.
I have learned is to control my peace. I say this all the time, and I tell this to my mother all the time too. Control your peace. It's up to you. You can eliminate that noise. You can stop listening to it by replacing other noise. And for me, that's exactly what I have to do. But there's also moments that I'm scrolling social media and somebody says something that reminds me of that time that's been holding me down, and I go back into that place. And then you've heard me say before, I changed that channel because I have to replace that negative thought that's been holding me in that place with something positive, that's something that keeps me going. That's why affirmations are so important. Positive quotes are so important. I've talked about over and over again, having people in your space that you can just let it out. You can say, I'm in this place and I can't move myself out of it, so that they can push you. That's why God has those people in your space, so that they're there when you can't get yourself out of it, that you can listen to something they say. You can call them and say, this is how I'm feeling, and they can just get you back on track. And that's what helps me and keeps me going.
Love that. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you guys over there on YouTube. Glad you all could be with us. Also, those joining us on X, appreciate the likes there as well. That leads us to the next component, though, of this message. And again, I think this is an excellent one for us to end the season off. It says, greatness is your aim. So surround yourself with those who are striving for it as well. And notice I didn't say who had reached it. And really, this quote, for those who've heard me talk about it before, was inspired by my high school art teacher. In my yearbook in 1994, she wrote that I was greatness in the works. And that to me was one of the most inspiring things anyone's ever said to me. For one, it gave me room to grow. It wasn't saying I was great, but also showed that what is true for all of us, and that is that we all are a work in progress. So that leads us to this question then, Tina. How important has it been for you to watch those who you choose to surround yourself with?
Well, it plays such a crucial role. The saying goes, show me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. Who we surround ourselves with will either make us or break us. And I think choosing to go with like-minded, and that's why I've loved this panel, because we're all aiming for the same outcome, and it is a journey. There is stumbling blocks on the road, but having the resolution in your mind that I am not going to stay down, even if I fall, I will get back up, and that is when I can move forward. And I've experienced that in my own life on so many occasions, and I'm always grateful to go back to my mom's 4 pillars. Never give up. Pray about it. Let's pray about it. Let's forgive each other and love each other. Those pillars are what has kept me going time and time again when the circumstances, when the waves were just going to crash in on me. But I was able to refocus and know that I've got a goal to finish. That finish line is ahead of me, and if I want to reach it, I have to keep going. So to not give up is the key, and has been in my life for many occasions.
Love that. Earl said, the past is gone, it's over, the future is evolving and unknown. All we control is what we do now. That is so true. And I think it's a great reminder for us. Melissa, how important has it been for you to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who you want to become?
Because that's what keeps you going, right? If you just surround yourself with people who are at the same level you are, then there is no growth. There is nothing that can bring that greatness that's in you out, because you don't see it. When I walk into a room, let's just take a networking event. I want to sit next to the person who's here up here, not the person who's right where I am, because I want to grow and evolve. And for my journey, that's been critical for me, to be able to listen to people who have already been where I am. Listen to people who are where I'm trying to go, because that gives you that push. When you get up and you don't have that push on your own, you can watch something they said, listen to something they did. I mean, just take you, for instance, Cyrus. When I met you, I was in a place that was just a plateau. Everything that's happened from 2019 to now, I would have never tried to do it. I mean, just doing this show is something that I would have never thought that I could do. But by meeting you, that was already in a different place. God placed you there on purpose so that I could see that I could do it too. So you have to see it. You have to be able to see it, to imagine it, imagine the possibility. So you do that in people that are around you and people that you admire.
That's one of the nicest things you said about me today, Melissa. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Why did you do that, Melissa?
Okay, so now it's your turn. Now,
Oh my gosh.
okay. Dr. Velma, how important has it been for you to surround yourself with people who you want to be great like?
Absolutely necessary. I was always a loner all throughout my life. I didn't have
Mhm.
a lot of friends. It wasn't important to me.
Yeah.
I was good with a book lying across my bed reading. I just didn't, I wasn't social in that sense. Everybody went out to parties and events and clubs, and that just wasn't me. And so a lot of times, a lot of moments in my life, I was by myself, but I had my faith. And so I did a lot of meditation and study and things of that nature. But God opened my eyes to the importance of relationships, because that's what his our faith is built on. He wanted relationships with us, a relationship with us. And
Yeah.
so it's built two is better than one. And so I think it's important. It helped me to open my eyes to even as I began writing. I didn't have a lot of connections, but a friend of mine that God sent to cross my path helped me to see the importance of building a brand, building a following, connecting with people so that they can see what I've been assigned to do. So I
Mhm.
think it's very key to everything that we do. And that's why I stress the importance of surrounding yourself with positive people who continue to help you along your journey, because they're so vital, so important. There were many moments. Had I not done that, I would have turned around and gone back to where I was and not continued to push forward. But I also want us to understand that sometimes God uses those moments to help to reset us as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes that person that you thought was a distraction helped you to turn in a different direction. Maybe you were heading east and God wanted you to go west. So all of those things we just have to pay attention to. Who
Hmm.
crosses our path? And sometimes I've even said to God, God, you really think highly of me in this moment. You allow me to go through what I'm going through right now. You really think highly of me. Now, what is supposed to come out of this? And sure enough, something positive comes out of it. I'm going, okay, now I see. And it's
Hmm.
important for us to keep our eyes open. Everybody that crosses your path crosses for a reason. Whether it's for a disruption, okay, then why was the disruption at that moment? Were you heading in a direction that you probably should not have, and it was intended to move you in a new path? So all of those things are important to me. And so again, I was an introvert. Okay, I confess it now. I was,
Hmm.
but now God has brought me out of that to move into a new direction, and I'm grateful.
Love that. I feel the same way as well, Dr. Vam. I can definitely relate to that. Edie says it's true, so true. Thank you so much for that, Edie. Glad you could watch us over there on Facebook. So, Melissa, that leads us back to you then. So now it's time for us to give our final message to our audience. What would you say to them about letting go of the things that are not helping to move them forward?
I wanted to just bring some attention to what you wrote. Your words on Friday, you said, peace can be yours, but it won't hunt you down. You
Mhm.
have to pursue it with everything within you. It is in you. You will find your peace. You will find your spirit. You will find that push you need, but you have to be intentional. And I talk about it all the time because I experience it. The best way I know how to relate is what I've experienced. What I've experienced is you have to make it non-negotiable. Your peace is not going to stop you. What you've gone through is not going to stop you. You make quitting not an option, and you make moving forward your goal, and intentionally go after it with everything in your soul.
Mhm. Such a great thing. Thank you so much for that, Melissa. Dr. Vama, what about for you? What would you say to our audience about the importance of letting go?
Shouldn't Melissa be preaching? I just get that sense about the way she lays down her words when she speaks. I'm like, she should be in somebody's pulpit somewhere. I'm sorry, Cyrus.
No, no
She
problem.
just, that was a distraction. So please ask the question again.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It was powerful.
Yeah. What would you say to our audience about the importance of leaving things that are not serving them behind?
I would say ditto to everything that everybody on the panel has said thus far. It's just not what you should be focused on. And therefore, that's why it's important to keep moving forward. You can't drag your past with you. And I mentioned that scripture earlier where Paul says a runner cannot run if they're dragging around weights. And you notice that runners always lighten the load. They're not going to carry their backpack in the race. They're not going to bring things that they did prior to the race with them. They let all of that go in order to run the fastest towards that goal because their focus is on getting to that goal. And that's what's important. We have to let go. And that means the past stuff, the past people, the people who did the wrong things, all of that, let it go. Because if you're dragging that around, it's going to slow you down and interrupt your speed. So it's important for us to let all that stuff go. Doesn't matter why they did what they did, said what they said, disrupted what they disrupted. What's important is you make the decision to keep moving forward. And that's why we're to lay aside those weights, just let it go.
Yeah. Edie says, so powerful. She inspires me every day. In 2025, Mrs. Mississippi plus America, Ultimate Woman says, very inspirational. Thank you for those words, Melissa Banks, for sure. I think all of you are hitting on something that's so important, though, but it definitely is a choice. Tina, what about for you? What would you say to our audience about leaving behind anything that doesn't serve them well?
Well, it drains you. It makes you weary. It makes you so afraid of taking that next step. And I love Isaiah 40, verse 31. It says, but those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar like wings on like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. If we wait on the Lord, if we do things uh, with the purpose in mind that we were created for, that we were born for, we will have the strength of endurance. And that is what both Melissa and Dr. Bellman have talked about this morning, is to not allow my judgment be clouded by somebody's judgment on myself or on the things that I've done. So to just live in your purpose, live in your dream that you want to aspire others, and then you will soar like eagles. And that is my prayer for everyone who's listening, to just let go of the past and pursue that which is ahead of you.
Such a great thing. Such a great reminder. Again, everyone, week number 18 has been our finale message for today. Again, we kick it off by saying leaving it behind. And that's something all of us can do. And just keep in mind that it is a choice. It's a choice for all of us to be able to do, myself included. No one's exempt from that because every day brings new opportunities and challenges. But it really is up to us how we choose to handle it and what we choose to entertain and give our thoughts and feelings to. Thanks to everybody for the great comments today. Really appreciate you guys. Again, thank you guys so much for a great season. To wrap us up here, Dr. Bama, let our audience know how can they stay connected with you during our break.
Cyrus, thank you so much for allowing me to be on the platform today. And even though they can't see me, I'm just so grateful to join my sisters of the platform, my co hosts. They are inspirational to me. And so I'm grateful. Cyrus, you made this book very easy for us to talk about. So we have to give you your kudos as well, that the topics that we were able to discuss and talk about have been phenomenal. You made that part of this job very easy. So for those of you who would like to stay in touch with me, you can either subscribe to my YouTube. I'm on all social media platforms, and you can also subscribe to my website, drvelmabagby.com. So I'm on the other platforms as Dr. Velma Bagby. Thank you all, and thank you, Cyrus, and my co-hosts.
Thank you as well, Dr. Bama. I'm so glad you could be with us. Tina, how can our audience stay connected with you during the break?
Thank you so much for having me as part of this. I feel like I've expanded my comfort zone by so much, by being in the presence of somebody that's done it before, and such an inspiration. Like Dr. Balma just said, the words that you've written in this book have been such an inspiration to me, and I know to the audience as well. I'd love to hear from you. I'm on social media. You can look me up as Tina Siemens, or email me at seminalthebook.com.
All right, thank you for that, Tina. I appreciate it. Glad to have you. And Melissa, last but certainly not least, and the OG of the group, how can our audience stay connected with you during the break?
Wow, this season has just been so amazing. But I have to tell you, each season of this show has inspired me. I felt different at the end of the season every single time. But I went into this season feeling a little intimidated with the powerful panel that we have. but we connected so much, and it's been so amazing. I just thank you for your vision, for your words in the book, and just having the vision to put together this show that inspires so many. You can connect with me anytime at themelissabanks.com, and you can see all the things that we do, even our social media platforms are there, or anything that we're offering. It's all right there at themelissabanks.com.
Thank you for that. Appreciate all of your kind words. I do want to let our audience know we are going to do a season recap exclusively on IG next Monday. So Monday, May the 5th, you will see all of us together, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. It's 8 a.m. PST. So we do invite you guys to join us on IG next week, where we'll do a recap of this season. And also, that way you can also figure out how to be able to stay connected with our panelists over there on IG as well. Ladies, again, thank you all so much. When I was putting together this season of the show, you are the three that I wanted to spend this time with. So these 18 weeks has been great, and definitely looking forward to the season that's returning. The new season is coming in August. So you guys will get a break from us, but we will be back with you guys in August. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Until next time, though, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you.